Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good morning. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. Security organs in Central Equatorial State have arrested 623 suspected gang members in a major security crackdown across the capital, Juba. The chairperson of South Sudan's Transitional Committee, Kwalmanyang Juk, says all signatory parties to the peace agreement are now aligned on urgent priorities for the country's transition. And the Congolese government says it targeted an aircraft which rebels claim was delivering food aid before it was blown up in the district of Minembwe, close to the country's borders with Rwanda and Burundi. These are stories and more coming to in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo. And now the news in detail. Security organs in Central Equatorial State have arrested 623 suspected gang members in a major security crackdown across the capital, Juba. The arrest followed a disturbing incident last week where members of the gang, locally known as Niggers, allegedly gang raped a 16-year-old girl in the Shirikad residential area. The State Security Committee, chaired by Governor Lieutenant General Rabi Mujong Emmanuel, has strongly condemned the attack. Speaking to the press, State Minister of Local Government and Law Enforcement, Leon Abe Brown, said the arrests were made in response to growing criminal activity in Juba. He said, and I quote, "So far, security forces in all sectors of Juba have arrested 623 gang members. We applaud our security organs for their efforts," end quote. The minister called on parents and guardians to take a more active role in guiding and protecting their children, urging communities to remain vigilant. He also appealed to development partners to support government efforts in establishing reformatory schools and vocational training centers to help rehabilitate former gang members and reintegrate them into society. Meanwhile, the Security Committee has also raised concerns over rising water prices in the capital and called on the South Sudan Urban Water Corporation to ensure affordable access for all residents. The chairperson of South Sudan's National Transitional Committee, Kwalmanyang Juk, says all signatories party to the peace agreement are now in agreement on urgent priorities for the country's transition. Briefing Vice President Dr. Benjamin Bolmel in Juba on Tuesday, Kwal said that the committee is stepping up coordination efforts to accelerate the full implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. He cited a strengthened engagement with the new political leadership following recent transitions in several signatory groups. According to the NTC chair, key priorities now include institutional reforms, inclusive governance, and the unification of armed forces under one Commander-in-Chief, President Salva Kiir. The Vice President welcomed the progress but urged for faster action, saying peace is key to development. Dr. Bolmel praised the work of the NTC but stressed that the people of South Sudan have waited long enough, adding that peace must be delivered now, not tomorrow. He said, and I quote, "Without peace there can be no development, without peace there can be no future, and without peace there is no country to call our own," end quote. Medicine Sans Frontiers has called for urgent intervention in Abyei, a special administrative area where it says a risk of worsening cholera outbreak. According to MSF, health authorities in Abyei officially declared a cholera outbreak on June 11, 2025, following a sustained rise in reported cases. MSF said informal settlements like Amiet Market, where more than 50,000 displaced people fleeing conflict in Sudan have sought refuge, are among the hardest hit. Many residents have limited access to safe drinking water and sanitation and are forced to defecate in the open due to a severe shortage of latrines, further heightening the risk of disease transmission. MSF called for urgent interventions. In a recorded voice sent to iRadio, Stephanie Dongmo, MSF project coordinator in Abyei, said the number of cases has surged in recent weeks, with 80 patients treated between 9 to 15 June, 77 between 16th and 22nd of June, and 94 between 23rd and 28th of June. South Sudan has been battling a countrywide cholera outbreak since September 2024. According to the World Health Organization, more than 75,000 cases and over 1,300 deaths have been recorded. This is iRadio Morning News. And now to the international scene. The Congolese government says it targeted an aircraft which rebels claim was delivering food aid before it was blown up in the district of Minembwe, close to the country's borders with Rwanda and Burundi. It is the latest violent incident in the region since a ceasefire deal was signed in Washington last Friday. The army claims it tracked the plane using radar, found it had entered Congolese airspace without legal permission and bore no identification number, giving the force no choice but to take appropriate measures. But a rebel allied to the M23 rebel, which has seized like parts of Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo this year, disputes this. Jihadist fighters have launched a series of simultaneous attacks on military posts across numerous towns in Mali, the third major assault on the army over the last month. Mali's army said it repelled Tuesday morning's attacks, allegedly neutralizing more than 80 militants without saying if there were any other casualties. However, Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal-Muslimin and Al-Qaeda link group said that it was behind the attacks, said it had taken control of 3 army barracks. For more than a decade, Mali has been wrecked by a deadly Islamist insurgents as well as attacks from separatist movements. This is iRadio Morning News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines. Security organs in Central Equatorial State have arrested 623 suspected gang members in a major security crackdown across the capital. The chairperson of South Sudan's National Transitional Committee, Kwalmanyang Juk, says all signatory parties to the peace agreement are now aligned on urgent priorities for the country's transition. And the Congolese government says it targeted an aircraft which rebels claim was delivering food aid before it was blown up in the district of Minembwe, close to the country's borders with Rwanda and Burundi. That's the end of iRadio Morning News. If there is a story or an event you'd like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 8 o'clock. I'm Lasuba Memo. Thank you for listening.